is March 1st, and while that might not be a significant date for you, it's a significant day for Nirvana fans, as March 1st was the end of an era, basically. March 1st is when Nirvana had their final concert in Germany, and this is when it was like, it was a good concert, but just seeing Kurt like that, it really breaks my heart. So let's dive into Nirvana's final concert. About 30 years ago on this day, Nirvana had their final concert in Terminal 1 in Munich, Germany, marking the end of an unexpected era. The band, led by Kurt Cobain, delivered a hefty 23-long set, unaware that this would be their final bow. Here's the set list. That is a lot of songs, and this is especially concerning when you learn about the technical troubles and health hurdles, which is that the concert was far from smooth. Kurt was battling bronchitis, and it worsened when the power cut out during Come As You Are, adding to the evening's difficulties. Shortly after this concert, Nirvana had to cancel the remainder of the European tour, primarily due to Kurt Cobain's health issues. The decision foreshadowed the tragic events that were to unfold a little over a month later. And I think that's it. Oh, there's a what if thing for Nirvana. But yeah, this concert, I have seen some footage and I've heard Heart-Shaped Box, like the final performance of Heart-Shaped Box. You can really hear it. I don't know what bronchitis is. I know it's like a throat thing, but like that must have hurt a lot. And considering, I think, in February, or I think during March, I can't remember when, but yeah, no, it wasn't March that, like, after Kurt OD'd in Rome. I can't remember exactly, but like this is so like sad. And I also pretty sure this is technically Pat's last concert with Nirvana because he was only in Nirvana for 2 whole years, 1993 into 1994. It's only 2 years of being in Nirvana. He wasn't even in the band for that long. It's just sad all around. There's more. I decided to look at more things. Chris noted in the Spinal Tap like circumstances and said, "We're not playing the Munich Enorma Dome tonight because our careers are on the wane. We're on the way out. Grunge is dead. Nirvana's over. Our next record is going to be a hip hop record." That is a crazy thing to say. Chris has always said some unhinged things. Chris is just that kind of guy. But saying that and then things happening later, crazy. After a brief delay of the power, it returned. The band picked up where it left off, but they removed the next song on the proposed list, Smells Like Teen Spirit, and the 23 concert ended with Heart-Shaped Box. At 80 minutes, it was the shortest show of the tour. That is crazy. So, let's see. So yeah, because of Kurt's health, as I mentioned before, they had to cancel the rest of the European dates, and then they flew to Rome to recuperate. But that is when 3 days later he OD'd on champagne and Rofinol, which he had been taking to relieve the chronic stomach pain he had been suffering for much of his adult time. No one still knows, by the way, what the stomach pain is. It's kind of weird that no one knows about it. Till this day, no one knows what it is. There's been some suspicion, but, you know. At the time, it was suspected the OD was accidental, but in the aftermath of his death, it was acknowledged that it was a, attempt, and that Kurt had been struggling with a serious drug addiction and stuff like that. Yeah. And then everything else is about how Kurt died, and, yeah. That's everything. I don't really think about what ifs, because what ifs sometimes, like, it's just thinking of, like a fantasy, basically. And thinking if Kurt Cobain lived, he wouldn't really be in the limelight anymore because he didn't want Nirvana to continue. And Nirvana didn't continue after he died, unlike a certain band, Alice in Chains. So I really think that, had Kurt somehow lived, well, first of all, he divorced Courtney. I'm just saying. He'd fight to get custody of Francis. I think Francis would actually have a normal childhood. But not only that, he'd probably be living quietly in Seattle with Chris. I think him and Chris would, first of all, had Kurt lived, I don't think Chris would be the way he is today, because, I heard, to quote something I heard, the day Kurt died is the day a part of Chris died with him. So, it really is really, really sad. But yeah, that's everything about Nirvana's final concert in Germany. Munich is Have they been there before? I don't know. I don't. I've never really kept track with their European tour dates because the only European tour that I remember is when they went to Belgium, and I only remember that one because Chris got completely naked. He started off with no socks, then he started off with no shoes, no socks, then no shirt, and then no pants, and then he almost took off his underwear, and I almost saw his hairy puebes, and I was like, no, my eyes! And then him and Kurt did lightsaber fights with their guitars. It's ingrained in my brain. And also that clip where it's like, how would you describe Nirvana? And they went, with a twist of lemon.
How would you define the music of Nirvana?
Something like that. With a twist of lemon.